Hello everybody. Trying some new design now on my stream. Bring a little more livelihood. So let me clear my chat in Kick. That way everything's clear. Yeah, so welcome back to my stream. Today I'm gonna continue working on what I was working on my last stream. Just continue developing web parts. And let's get to it. Okay, so let's go to the code. Let's get things started. Get the development environment running. And yes, I am in the spaceship today. Take a good look at planet. Right. Wait for this to start, and then while that's starting, I'm gonna fix some stuff. So the last thing that I did when I met and I was working on stuff, I had added a couple of columns to okay, let's go to site settings. Go inside columns. I had added celebration day and celebration month. So I had separated that. So let's go to validation. Celebration month. And celebration day. And month. And I believe I set them up as numbers. So these are going to change to number. So let's change that to 0. This one can be 0 as well. And 19 gonna be 0. Why am I getting a oh, so maybe we don't need, yeah, let's leave it without it. All right, so now in the form, const 2 digits, format, values, celebration day, month. We don't need this anymore. Celebration day. And I don't think we need this set value anymore since we're able to just use register. Let's not do this. A lot of this was written by AI, so I'm gonna fix that. So the yup resolver, what is it complaining about? It's complaining that it's missing ID. I'm just gonna. It's really hard to make I'm trying to figure out why I changed my mind on not using celebration insert as my object on the celebration form. Why did I do that? Oh, I remember why. The reason why is because I needed an ID. ID needed to be on it. So let's include ID in the insert. And then on the celebration form, we don't need this 2-digit nonsense. Where is this equals? Get rid of that. Default values. If not editing, celebration default values. This is just overcomplicating it. Why would you need to use this? Default values. So this one needs to be celebration default values or item editing if it exists. Sorry, I had to backwards. You need to set item editing and if it's editing, if we have that object, we use that. Otherwise, we use the default values. Hey, hi, welcome. Hope all is well. Welcome, chatter. You know what? That's the first time I'm able to see somebody from YouTube on my screen on chat. I'm glad it's working. It wasn't never working. That's a. I usually would only see Kick and Twitch chat, but I'm really happy to see that at least I got YouTube going now. That's a good thing. Hey, bro, what are you making? I'm making a web part for SharePoint. I don't know how familiar you are with SharePoint, but it is it really doesn't matter the platform, right? I mean, it's at the very fundamentals. I'm doing React development. So if you're interested in React, if you like React development, web development, that's essentially what I'm doing. All right, so celebration insert. Celebration form prompts is submitting and admitting resolver server. Resolver's still complaining about something. Numbers not assignable to string. Did I change it to? Oh, this is why. These are supposed to be number. And get rid of that. Oh, what was AI trying to do? Okay, and then celebration default values. We can just make them default 1 and 1. What else is missing? ID is missing. Okay, that fixes all that. Oh no, I am dumb. No, you're not dumb. Now I am interested in game hacking. Yeah, probably wouldn't be able to help you there with game hacking. You can actually do some game development if you learn React. There's this thing called Phaser.io. And you can build games using React. they're indie games. Like I'm not talking like I'm not talking about like Unreal Engine, like those really fancy type of development, but you can build some pretty decent games with it. So these are some examples of some of the games people have made using this. I'm a game developer. I use Unreal Engine 5. Yeah, man, that's too rich for my blood. Unreal Engine is I don't even know. I know that it's several thousands. I mean, unless you're working for a gaming company, I know that it's expensive. I don't know that I could. I'm honestly, like, I'm gonna be a bit of a Debbie Downer, but I'm not really a gamer, to be honest. I play games occasionally, but mostly boring games. I just recently beat Mario versus Donkey Kong on Switch. I recently beat that game. That was a pretty fun game. But hey, you could probably build something like this on very similar to it in Phaser, because it's very basic. I'm in college and UE is free if you know Blender. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, that's the route to go with. If you have the ability to use free stuff, even if you're like, for instance, right now, I'm using SharePoint as my platform for development, and you can get a free version for as a developer. So if anyone is interested, you can look up the developer program from Microsoft, activate an account, join as a developer, and then it'll create a platform for you that you can use. But I mean, if you're learning C++, I mean, that you're not dumb at all. I would say you're pretty smart. C++ is no joke. That's I think that would be one of the harder languages, in my opinion. Liberation Day. Liberation Month. Why am I missing this? But any type or data any type can be used in index. Celebration item. Ah, I got rid of data e-type from here. Can I bring that back? I think I have it in FAQ items. Discovery. Here we go. Data e-type. Let's bring that back. All right, so that gets rid of all my errors, I think. Oh, it's everyone's choice to play games, and thanks for recommending the Phaser. I will check it out later. Yeah, definitely check it out. I tried it, but again, I'm not really a gamer, so it didn't really pique my interest enough. Forgot the codes when I tried to write. I'm just a beginner, and I'm gonna be more focused. Yeah. So I don't know what the differences would be. I mean, from a developer perspective, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't memorize code. You literally just saw me go into another file to look and see what the type to one of the property types that I needed to find. I don't ever try to memorize it. A lot of people think that that's the way to go. It's not about memorization. It's about knowing the concepts. If you want to become a good programmer, learn the concepts, learn good architecture, learn the lingo, learn the jargon. If you can get those down packed, you're going to be very successful, because that's really what it takes to be a good developer. Why? Because you can always search, and now with the addition of AI to help us in development, I think that a lot of it is at your fingertips as far as quickly getting the information that you need. So in my opinion, again, this is just my opinion, the best thing that you can do as a developer is not strive to memorize code. Memorization of code will come with repetitiveness. As you're typing code, as you're building applications or you're building games, the repetitiveness, the more and more you type these syntax, is the more you'll be able to memorize it. But if your goal is to go into looking at tutorials, looking at videos and learning and memorizing that, unfortunately that would not be my recommendation. And that's partly the reason why I stopped doing a lot of tutorials on YouTube, is because I'd rather just be on a live, and somebody has a question in this realm of development, I can try my best to answer it. And so that's why I refrain away from trying to do too many tutorials, because at the end of the day, tutorials are just going to make you sleepy and you're going to get bored. The best thing you can do is learn the concepts. What do I mean by learn the concepts? If I was to go work at a tire shop, I'm not going to be expected to learn every single kind of vehicle, the size of the tires on each one of those vehicles. I'm not going to be expected to know the pressure that each tire is supposed to have for each individual different vehicle. No, that's not the that's what you're trying to do when you're trying to memorize code. What you're supposed to understand is the concepts. A car has 4 wheels. A motorcycle has 2 wheels. They have lug nuts. They have a certain pressure that they have to have. You learn the lingo, right? The tires have to be balanced. You know, again, I don't work in a tire shop, but I'm just saying, I've been to a tire shop with my car and I know what they do to a certain extent. But again, they would not expect you to come in and learn that. What's important is that you learn the lingo, you learn the special verbiage around what that syntax is specifically. I mean, I forget the syntax. That's the problem with me. And the main problem is I don't practice, but I will do it more. But here's the thing though. If you are trying to learn the syntax and memorize it, in the purpose of memorization, so the easiest way to memorize is just write. One of the things that I used to do, like when I was trying to memorize my times tables, I would just write the times table over and over and over again. Obviously, as you get older, it's not going to be fun to do that. But the best thing you could do is pick a project. Look, like if I was trying to learn C++ today, I would go into like a search engine and I would look up basic projects using C++ for beginners. And it'll give you, you know, obviously everything's going to go around console based. I mean, if that's what you're trying to do, then yes, it's probably going to guide you to console. But there's a bunch of different C++ games or programs that you could build. You know, so let's say I wanted to do what's a good one? Let's do an inventory system. So an inventory system C++ project. See, it's a common educational project that can range from simple command line program to complex application with graphical user interface. So this is the way I would go, and pick up a very basic project, build that project, and then from repetitiveness of typing that code over and over again, you're going to find that you are going to start learning and memorizing that code just from the fact that you were writing it. You were writing something, and you get that dopamine, right? The dopamine of you actually accomplish something. That's one of the things that I love about my job as a developer, is that effect, that dopamine effect that you get when you can actually see the changes and results on your screen. And that keeps you motivated. You want to keep on doing things. Let me refresh my screen. I think I have my, looks like I have more errors. So it looks like default layout has an issue. Oh, this is a different default layout. There we go. So edit item, oh, it's giving me a problem where edit item, celebration item insert is not assignable to celebration item. Just cast it. Celebration day and month. Celebrations. So celebrations. Okay, so let's go look at celebrations. Thanks for this guidance, bro. For real, man. I never thought about to start. I never select any project. I just watched tutorials and I never understood. Can you guide me a little more? I just want to start from. Yeah, heck, let me try something. Let's see what we can do. Let's pick a C++ project. Make sure it's a small project because I don't want to be here hours. Sorry. Let's try a small project. Let's just pretend that I'm learning C++. Simple calculator application performs basic arithmetic operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication. Now this is coming from an absolute beginner. I have the closest I've ever gotten to C++, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it comes from Pascal. I believe that was the original programming language for C++. Does C++ derive? Because I took a class in Pascal when I was in high school. Oh, it's not derived from Pascal. So C++ and C before it was designed. Okay, so it derives from C. Best code editor for C++. Best code editor is Visual Studio, Windows. Okay, so I would need Visual Studio. Best IDE for C++. Not Visual Studio Code, which is what I'm using right now. I think I have Visual Studio, a key. Let's see. I think I have I think there's, can I code C++ with VS Code Community Edition? Yes, I can code. Okay, so I can use Community Edition. So let's go look that up. VS Code Community Edition, which is free. All right, so let's get it. Free Visual Studio Community, free download. No, I'm free right now. I'm just kicking back, learn coding. Heck, I'm not in a scenario where I'm on a bind to finish this project and like right now. But let's see if I can get this installed. Did it download? It's fine. Let's go with a small project. I've never done C++, so it should be interesting. Let's check it out. So .NET. Look, they even have game development with C++. So desktop development. This is more my angle because I like to build things that are more like applications themselves. So if I was building a desktop application, build a modern C++ app for Windows using tools. Let's see what this is an option to install, and I'm going to go ahead and install the game development with C++. I got it off of Discord because I heard they were going to start doing IDs or something like that, so I got off of that. Yeah, sorry. Let's see. So what else is there? C++ UI application, build applications for the Windows platform using WinUI with C#. That's more probably aligned with C#. You can even do mobile development apparently, but it says it's out of support. Game development with Unity. I think that's it for C++. Let's just install that. Man, look at the download speed. I'm racing. 96. So almost peaked at 100, I think. While that's going, which is going to be a minute, let me fix my issues here. The celebrations, I need this instead of celebration date, I need celebration day, which is going to be a number. Celebration month, which is also going to be a number. And celebration month. What is this? Parse date. It's still installing. I don't need this format date function. Where does the closure happen? I think it's right here. Format, so celebrate in date and month. Okay, I think we got it. And then here. All right, let's save it all. And let's see if we still have errors. Looks like we don't have any more errors. Now let's see if it's working. I'm gonna check out the page. There we go, it's working. Nice. We're back to normal. So this should have a stop at 12, and this, I wonder if I can add some dynamics to make sure that February does not go above 28 or 29 depending. 29 actually. Let's see, it's going all the way to 31. There's got to be, I think on Yup, there's a conditional. Let's go to validation. So here on validation, I know that there is on the celebration at they add conditional validation to 29. Let's see if it does it right. Well, that's running. Let's go see what the installation's going. It's gonna be a little bit, but we'll get there. In problem, man, those MF band me I just said I was 10 years old in a joke. That's hilarious. Oh man, you made my day. That's the funniest thing. You said as a joke you were 10 years old and you got banned. Oh, that's too funny, man. That's awesome. I don't know if you're joking, but if you are, man, that is a good joke. What type of development are you doing? Like you fixed the number scrolling, right? Yeah, right now I'm doing it's React, web dev. But now if I refresh it, oh, you know what? I also have to update the form. So the form, actually that should have been the only thing I had to change. So here in the form for the celebration day, it would have to be because the max is gonna have to be 29. But I'm trying to see how I can target the value. I think I can use watch from forms from the hook form. So in here I would just basically create a parameter or a variable, watch month, which is going to be the celebration month. And now I can leverage that. If it's 2, the max should be 29, otherwise it should be 31. Let's go see the installer. Still going. All right, so this should be working now. So this is 2. The max it should go up to is 29. Nope, still going up to 31. Did it not? I mean, we can even make it really strict to where if the month, some months obviously do not have 31 days. It's still only doing that. What the heck? Oh wait, is it just because max is set? No, but it should be. If it's 2, it should be 29. I've been having a lot of problems with this. Let me start the development server again. What the AI is saying. What is this? We have 3 errors. So it looks like we have an error on use add celebration items. Use add celebration item. Okay, so it's complaining here because we still have celebration date. What else am I missing? ID. ID is 0. Oh, this isn't supposed to be here. Celebration day, month, type, and yeah, and celebration image URL. Oh, I think I have to put some random stuff here too. Missing ID and attachments. Oh, attachments, yeah. Attachments is going to be false. And let's get rid of this ID. And I believe this is going to give me problems unless I put some letters in there. What other files had errors? Oh, done installing. Nice. So it looks like the use update celebration. Let's go look there. Yeah. Okay, it looks like it's good now. Now let's test it. So if it's month 2, this should only be allowed to go up to 29. Nope. Jeez, it's still not working. Okay. In my college, they are teaching us Python and Java Python, but it's easy, but Java, hell no, bro. Yeah, I did Java in college too. We used Greenfoot, which is a Java framework to learn. So you can learn with Greenfoot. I think there's Greenfoot and then something with Bluebird or something. Blue Jay, yeah, that one. That's the other one that I did in college. You can use either one. Yeah, the React language I'm using is easy. Yep, I would agree. It's just once you get familiarity with it, I think you're good. All right, let's check out C++ since you brought it up. I'm gonna sign in. I'll be right back. All right, I think that did it. Always like the darker view, so let's do dark mode. I hate this trim delay. Yeah, I know, it's a little bit of a delay, sorry. All right, so the new project that we're gonna create, so we're gonna create a new project. So we can do a console application, but that seems kind of boring. Because console application is literally this. It's like you just have a black screen and you type stuff into it. That would be very boring. It's I don't want, so console application is not a good one for me. How about we create a Windows desktop application with a GUI? Like a menu for hacks in the console. The best way for C++ beginners to start making Windows applications is to use community. I don't want to do a console-based project. Let's see what else. We can do a calculator, number guessing, name, to do. I guess we can do the classic to-do list. You want to see something? I wonder if I can build this in C++. Let me show you what I built using React. So using React, I built this application. And I wonder if I can make the same thing using C++. So there's this application out there that's for sale. It's called Blitzit app. It's basically like a to-do application. And I thought about buying it, but then I said, why not have fun and make it? So I did. And it's working pretty well. Maybe we can build that, but as a Windows application instead of a browser-based application. Because mine is a browser, and I believe this is a Windows application. But I haven't used it, so I don't know. But maybe let's do that. So let's just do the to-do application. So can I make this application with C++ using the Windows desktop application? Windows desktop application. Project template in VS Community. Yes, you can do a to-do list using, well, let's do that one then. And it's going to be called to-do. Let's just call it the same as I called my application in the browser, point task. Solution name is going to be point task. It's going to go in my repos folder. That's fine. I'm thinking it should go in my source folder, which is where I keep all of my code. Place solution and project in the same directory. Sure. Nah, let's not do that. Create. All right, so this is our application now. Okay, so this is the application that I built already. Let me show you. So the application that I built already is this one. The way it works is you go to your tasks and you just drag and drop your stuff. And so you start working on it and it opens this pop-up, and this pop-up just stays on top of everything, so you can kind of keep track. Oops. You can kind of keep track of your focus, how many minutes you've been working on your application, or on your task rather, and how many minutes are in your focus session. And then if you end early, like right now I'm going to end early, you can take a break. You can stop the tracker, or you can complete the task. And it shows you like a little GIF as encouragement that you did it. Good job. And then you can go on to the next task, and the next task will start, which is called test task 2. It gives you a nice little GUI that shows you how many minutes are left on your task, how many minutes are left on your focus session. And it kind of gives you a nice little progress bar to let you know how many minutes you've worked throughout the day. If you go on break, it puts like an overlay implying, hey, you're going to take a break. You need to kind of back off, get away from the computer. I've been debating whether I should create like a little tiny phaser game. But then I think about it and I'm like, you know what? That's probably not a good idea, because it's meant to take a break. That means get your eyes off the screen and walk away kind of scenario, right? So, but maybe we can build something like this using C++. All right, so let's put this to the side. So this is my Copilot chat. Comes free, it says. So references, I'm assuming this is where all of your, if it's anything like C#, your references are like your libraries that you use to help you with your programming. In C#, we call them DLLs. And then you have your header files, resource files, and source files. If I run this, I wonder what it does. Oh, it just opens a window. It's empty. So let's just close that window. All right, so then you get, this is the output. I don't really need it right now. By the way, the output, there's a little pin on it. I just took off the pin so that I don't have to see that all the time. I'm gonna turn this off because I have a little real estate. I'm just gonna complete this, and then I can turn off this application. Oh, it's not letting me because me and my break. All right, now I can close it. It kind of, the way this application is supposed to work, it locks you in. It's not letting you out of it because the concept is you're supposed to be concentrating on the work that you're doing right now, and that's why it's doing that. All right, but let's go to a C++. So it looks like you have all of your global variables here. Include, I wonder if these are just like your imports. So you have an icon for your application. These are your classes. It looks like a class in C#, so I'm assuming these are your classes. Framework, Windows 32, learn, lean and mean. So, point task app. You have a message handler for about box. Was there an about box when we ran it? Oh, there is. Check it out. And then there's a file exit. Obviously, that's to exit the call. And so we have our variables. Initialize global strings, load string, app title. I'm assuming these are coming from, can you wait a few 10 minutes? I'm unable to fix an issue in my laptop, and let's do it after 10 minutes. Yeah, just let me know when you're back. I'm just going to continue what I was doing then. Yeah, so I mean, one of the things that I would start doing, although, you know, from the GitHub Copilot perspective, I would basically just try to understand. So from what I gather so far is in this brace is your function, and then it receives an integer with the H instance, H previous instance, LP command line, and command show. Register class, load strings, to do place code here. And then you have a function. Anyway, we'll come back to that. All right, so was this working or not? Okay. So yeah, I can continue to add celebration. I was having an issue with this, where if I put 2, it's supposed to only allow me to go up to 29. So the validation works, but the control should also work. It should not be allowing me to go all the way to do that. So let's go to the form again. Celebration day. If watched month. It is celebration month, right? Oh wait. Oh, it is the celebration month. All right, so celebration day. The max should be 29. The input max is not dynamically changing based on month. I wonder what I'm missing there, because I don't know what I could be missing there. Because I'm using watch from hook. What happened to my... Oh, that's what it is. Or I was looking at something else that's not on the screen. This thing's still thinking. All right, so with Copilot on the C++, we have several callbacks. Message handler for about box. Because when I was clicking on the about box, help and about point tag, it says copyright C 2026. Where's copyright coming from? It's coming from text or the dialogue. Okay, so where is that in the Solution Explorer? I notice that this looks a lot like VB code. Can I just change things in here and it runs that way? Oh, it sure does. Okay, so it looks like this is the main process that gets us there. So you can see that. And then in the file, we have file and help. Oh, we only have file and help in the top on the menus. So that would be like a router. Interesting. That's interesting. What did this come back with? Never came back with an answer? it's saying that the watch is returning a value as a string, not a number. Let's find that out. So we go to components. We click on our component here, and we should have a form component. So here's our dialog. We are in our form. And if we look at our form, look at the state, there's our values. It's returning it as a string. That's why it's not working. So I think this is correct. So we have to do is we have to update these. The celebration month, we update it like this. And celebration day, we do the same. Let's see if that fixes it. Should not let me go past 29. Ah, that's what it did. So the issue, I mean, which I could have just troubleshooted that way, right? If we would have inspected, we can go here into components, click on the component, and then you'll open the form. And in the form, you have a state and you have values. And now it's returning numbers, which is what we needed it to do. So when all else fails, React development tools for the win. So if you're ever interested in doing React development, I highly recommend that you install this on your Chrome, and it'll let you see your UI and all of your React components, and you can dig into the values on the back end. What I found odd is that it kept on saying working, but it never gave me an answer, because the answer it gave me was correct. It was value as a number. All right, so let's what is this? I don't need that. Be right back. Sorry about that. All right. We're still waiting for our chatter to return so we can see where we can learn on C++. In the meantime, add celebration, test, window, birthday, now let's say anniversary. Oh, what's going on? It's erroring out immediately. Celebration. Oof. How did I get celebration day like that? Let's try that again. Oh. Anniversary. Oh, it's still erroring out. Celebration. Oh, did I not add the columns? Let's find out if we added the columns to the database. Nope, it still has celebration date. Let's get rid of celebration date. I'm gonna get rid of it from the table. Okay, now it shouldn't give us any more errors. There we go. 6.1. And this is saying undefined because we got rid of the field. So we can technically delete those two. Birthday. And let's find a person. Of a guy. Copy image address. Let's make sure that it's okay. Huh. Let's try this one. There we go. That'll work. And there's John Doe. Oh, it just happened to both be on in June. Nice. Now let's do what we were doing if you're free. Yeah, absolutely. Let's check it out. So what I've been learning so far is we have a folder with the source files, and then it creates this this set of files. So if in my about page I was able to see by looking up copyright. Because what I did, one of the ways that I did, I just ran the application. Where's my error? It's saying I have an error now? I didn't change anything. Let's just build it. Build. It's still giving the error. Link 1. I don't know what I did. Build solution. Cannot open the executable. Oh, is it because it's running? Oh, it's because it's running already. Give me 1 second. All right. Let me build it. Let's clean the solution first. And now let's build it. Okay, so it built fine. That was weird. All right, so about, you can see that it has this button. So that's how I was able to find out what's in that box. Is it has this, I'm assuming this purple box is a model. I wonder if Copilot can tell me. Let's find out. What is the difference between the purple I'm assuming that the purples are models, and this is the blue is basically similar to how when we do when you do React, it has all of your properties. Just like so if you looked at my project in React, I have, this would be my model, my component, and then but the I'm sorry, not that's an API. So this is a model. So this part of the return, this is the model right here in SharePoint, in framework, in React. And then these variables are basically all of my properties for the model. And I'm assuming that this is pretty much the same. Yep, so purple icons are functions and methods, procedures, and blue icons are data symbols, variables, global, exactly as I was saying. So the blue would be these variables, and then the purple would be the model. But in this case, it's saying that the purple icons are functions. So functions would be, so like, this is a function. It handles something. And then the blue icon, data symbols, variables, global string, buffers. If you want to confirm, open the outline view. Oh, let's go look at the outline view. We can unpin this. There should be a view to be able to see this in outline view. So to see it in outline view, you go Control-Shift-O. That's opening a salute. That's doing something different. I'm not sure. If you want to confirm, open the outline view or press Control-Shift-O. Symbols are grouped by the kind there. Oh, so this is the main file. And then so what's happening here, it's similar to I'm trying to find something to compare it with. I keep on getting that pop-up. I don't know. All I know is that it told me to place your code here. Maxwell string about. This is just outlining everything. So MWM command, process the application menu. So what do we want to do first? Do we want to let's see. Let's get we're learning, and I'm gonna do something like this. Where is this located? What job do you do though? I'm also confused in the C++. What job do I do? I'm just I do React development, full stack developer or SharePoint developer. But I mean, I like the code, and this is an opportunity for me to learn something. So all right, so we have repos, and this one was called point tasks. So it was under repos. There's nothing under repos. This is my, where are these files at? I'm trying to find out where I saved this. Maybe let's see, but let me see. Open in File Explorer. Oh no. Did I just do this? Oh no. This is a mess. I just made a mess. Because let me go to my point test solution. I just did a very bad thing. Yep, but look at all this mess. I should have put it in repos. I don't know what I was thinking. So no worries. Let me discard this. And let's close this. And let's close this executable. Okay. All right. That got rid of it. No worries. All right, let's start this over again. And then this one. Create a new project. Windows Desktop. Task, and this stores repos. We don't want a console application, we wanted a desktop application. And if we run this desktop application, we were able to do that. Okay, so to do place code here. How do we show text? That was in about. Like, how do we start adding stuff to? What happened is I created the C++ application inside of my React application, which is a big no-no because obviously that's gonna have a lot of conflicts. So now instead of it being in point task, it's in repos point task, whereas before it was in point task. So now I can go to, I'm gonna open Claude. And now we have point task. Yeah, that's a really big no. Yeah, exactly, a really big no-no. All right, so I'm learning C++. Review initial project. Where can I start building what would we call it? Building, this is what I'm talking about, jargon, right? So for jargon, since I know React development, a C++ Windows application, what is the equivalent? The UI components in React. This is going to be a simple. So this is Claude. All you have to do is you run Claude install in PowerShell if you're using Windows. I prefer PowerShell 7. So just install PowerShell version 7 on your machine and then run Claude install. So here's the structure. So you have everything. The entry point Windows class message loop is in point task CPP. Just includes resource H, point task RC, resource file, dialogues, menus, and icons. Where do I controls? Controls, buttons, texts, for list boxes are created in the WinProc inside the WM create message. Right now, that case doesn't exist. You'll need to add it. So it says in my point task application in point task CVP line 124. Let's go to point task. It says point task.cpp in line 124. All right, sorry about that. I had somebody at my door. All right, so WM create child controls, edit boxes, button list box, WM command handle button clicks, WM paint custom drawing if needed, line 145. So this is WM paint. Add any drawing code. Oh, I mean, gives you kind of information in the comments. Quick example sketch, WM create input box. Let's run this code right here. So in WM create, WM command, WM create was in 124. Yeah, command, paint, destroy. We don't have a WM create. Oh, they said we had to create it, didn't we? Didn't it? It said create this. You need to create these child windows. Edit text, button, list box. Where did it say that we had to create it? Control buttons are created. Yeah, you'll need to add it in the WinProc. WinProc is on 124. So in here, is it a case statement? Is that what it's saying, that we have to do a case statement called WM create? Let's try it. Sorry, let's go to the end of this one. And we're gonna do case WM create. And then we have an embrace. And then we're gonna basically put this. WM create. What is the error? WP create is undefined. So I'm assuming WM command has to be right before WM paint. Also, it looks like it has to be before paint. Where are these instantiated though? Because it's saying undefined because we haven't actually created this. Create these child windows. In line 145, I already did that. I added the line, but I am getting an error. The interesting thing would be, where do we find WM paint? It's only in here like this. I don't understand. So why is my music? I can't hear my music. Can you hear my music? Okay. Still shows the original. It looks like you have not saved. ID constraints, ID edit need to be defined. These defines near the top of the file after max loading string. Max loading string right here. So we need to define them here. Okay. Did that get rid of my errors? No. Then they need to be declared. Add them alongside the other globals around line 10. Or line 10. On the global variables, okay. So I need hedit, hbutton, and hlist. Okay. We got rid of this error, but WP create still hasn't been defined. What confuses me is that there is no definition for WM command other than where it is stated. So WP create, show potential fixes. Identifier is undefined. Is there a class somewhere that this has to be defined? I'm certain there's a class somewhere. Give me 1 second. Alright, sorry about that. So WP create, I just don't understand because WP create still it's showing undefined. Identifier is undefined. Identifier is undefined. We're missing something. Communicator should be defined. This is almost certainty and syntax error earlier in the code. Missing break. All I did was change this, change that by adding this, and then it's saying that I made a mistake, but where did I make the mistake at? Oh wait, I see it, I think. So the issue is that I'm supposed to have a close brace here and then break. Right, because that's the way this is written. As the break. I don't understand why it's saying that I may have messed something else up, but I don't get that. I'm giving it the path to the file to see if we can review it. So this is wrong. It should be. Did I literally copied it. Or maybe I didn't copy it. Let's see if it builds. Sorry, I guess I didn't copy it. Oh, look at that. This is very not that great, but and the add button doesn't work yet, but it's a start. So we have a input box, a button for add, So this is our button, our list box, and then our edit. That works, okay. Is there resources for a better looking UI options? For example, in React we have material. Maybe there's something we can install that allows us to have a better looking UI. So several options depending on production you want to go to. Top picks for C++ UI is Qt. Full framework for styling, layouts, components, and animations. Let's go look at that. So we have Qt for C++. Looks like I have to create an account for that one. What about Windows App SDK, WinUI 3? Oh, so this would have been if we would have to have started the application using this framework. Which at this point is a little too late to do that. All right. Anyway, let's not worry about that. Let's work on the add method that will make the, what was the button? Was it an add button? No, don't fix anything. I didn't ask you to fix anything. Now we have to add another case. IDM text. Was IDM exit, IDM exit over here after exit. So I guess these are your commands. Really? Okay. So we have case, button add, and looks like it's already doing that. Send message. It looks like Copilot started writing it for me. So your commands are stored in the case statement for the commands, and then your create is what creates the elements in the page. Very interesting way of development, I guess. Okay, so that does that. So you understand what's happening is whenever you click on the for a certain process, they are defined based on the name of the component. In our case, the component name or the it wasn't called component, it was called a control. So in our case, the add button control is the ID button add, which is right here. So this is how they cross-reference each other. And then basically it detects a click and then it uses the switch statement. So switch statement, think of it as a conditional, like a fancy conditional. Conditionals are like ifs. If this, then that. If this, then do the other thing. So this is just an iterative way of finding out what control you clicked on. Did you click on about? Did you click on exit? In our case, we clicked on button. As soon as it finds the case that it did, it runs the method, and then it should break. I forgot to put break here. Because if not, it continues on and it tries to do the default. Which is kind of odd that it didn't. And the thing about this kind of development is that you always have to restart. Otherwise it won't. Yeah. It won't update. So just so you know, this is the method that's going to be called based on the button that you clicked on, which in our case, this is the button, the add button. Let's close this. What is L? Is L the label? Let's find out. What is that? Oh. I took that off. So I'm wondering if L is a label on the button. Yes, it is. So L is the label on the button. Okay, so the method is create window, and then you give so this is your variable. This is where your information is stored. And you're using a method. Method is like a verb in the English language. So like if you have a pitcher, the pitcher throws the ball. So this program has a method called create window, and in the create window you tell it what you're creating, what label you want to put. So this create window edit. I'm assuming you would put a button next to it for edit so that you could edit it later. And then the list box. Oh wait, no, the edit is the actual box, the input. Label is empty. Let's add a label. Test edit label. Oh no, this is a placeholder. You can have a placeholder in there if you wanted to have a default value. And what does this do? Edit test. It breaks it. Edit button list box. Yep, exit. And then you have a message you could technically put after they close it. Is this helping any? Does it make sense to you? Anyway, yeah, so that's what the callback message handler for about box. Okay, so we have that. Refrain from making edits. What about editing an item? What if I wanted to edit an item? Because right now, if I add test, it doesn't let me change it. I'm completely new to this. I've never done it before, so we'll see. Win32 list box has no built-in inline editing, so the typical pattern is user selects an item in the list, user clicks edit button or double clicks the item to populate edit with the selected item inside the text. So the key API calls you would use is index, send message, get the text message of the item, put it in the edit box, delete the old item. So it looks like we need to add 2 new buttons, one for edit and one for save. Handle each in the switch WMID block. All right, so let's see. So we have inside of the WM command, let's define it. ID button edit. Does the order matter? Like the number, I mean. Because it's automatically giving a 104. Would it be better if that was 103 and this is 104? I don't know. Let's just try it this way. And then button save. All right, so now that we have it defined, we should be able to add a case here. Or let me break out of that. And in our edit button, we need to have this set window edit text. That sound right? So we have get window text. Set window text is another method. Int index equals send message. So this would be the first part of the call. Then get the text. And that's going to send message to the text box. And then insert the text. I wonder if this will build. Nope. That window. So this is that window text? Is that a method that I have to create? What's the error that it has? String text might not being 0 terminated. Man, Copilot's taking forever. Flow and W command. You add the two buttons, handle each switch. Okay, so I guess we have to check if it's -1 because if nothing has been selected. Is there a way to not show the button unless something is selected? Yes, you can show, hide, or enable disable buttons based on selection. Two approaches. Option A, enable disable recommended. Button says visible is out when nothing is selected. More common UX pattern. I'm getting a message from YouTube that my video may not be doing so great. Can you see me okay on YouTube or hear me okay? I don't think that chatter's with me anymore, so even though I do want to learn this, and I will probably continue to delve into this later, this is not really my niche, so I'm gonna stop. Plus, like I said, I think that the chatter that was with me is no longer there, so let's go back to my original solution and see what we can do there. Obviously, C++ is not my wheelhouse, but I'm going to try to learn it now that I hadn't got a chance to try it. The next thing that I'm going to do for my app here that I was working on is I don't necessarily want them to always need to give me a URL. I want to give them the option where they want to upload an image for that person, or if they want to use a URL from somewhere. So let's do that. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to add a attachment button. But before we can add the attachment option, let's go to the API. Let me close all these editors. So here in the API, we're going to add a call. Export const add attachment celebration item. And I believe the way to do that, where did I do it? Oh, FAQ. So let's go to the API here. Fetch all items, fetch by ID, create item. Update FAQ item. Oh, it's right here. You just add the file. Okay. Bear with me a moment. Okay. All right, so I need to update. I'm debating whether I want to handle this a little bit differently. The file. So this was updated item file. So if I think I want to make it so that we have a file as an option. So here on the create item, get celebration, insert item right here. We need to have an option to have a file. Okay, and if we do have a file, that's when we'll use the call to add it. So we can just copy this. And this is going to return a Boolean if it did create the file correctly. And the list name is celebration list name. And the item ID. And then because I haven't done my PNP.js config, I need to update that. And I need to update the one for the celebration feed. We need to bring in files and attachments. I think I just need fields as well. Oh. Constant speed. Wait, what did I need everything that I just brought in? I don't think I need fields, do I? No. We just need attachment and file. I don't even think I need files. We just need attachments. All right, so what happens is when we create an item, when we insert an item, we need to check if it has a file. If it has a file, then we're gonna be add attachment to celebration item. There is no data. There is no data object. And we don't need a catch. How did I handle it here? Okay, so it was an updated item. So, okay, if it has a file, it should add it there. And then after we add the attachment, add attachment to celebration item. Why is it erroring out? Oh, because it was used before it was defined. Okay, so let's move this up. All right, so that gets rid of that error. Now, if we added the file, then we need to update. I wonder if I can, let me see, let added item, so which is going to be a celebration item. And an added item is never reassigned. You said will be. Or no. Added item. There we go. So what I did was I created the variable at the beginning to tell it to return the added item. But then the added item could be defined twice, because if it had a file to add as an attachment, I need to go ahead and update it with the file that I wanted to add, and then I need to return that version of the added item. If I don't have an attachment, then I don't have anything to worry about there. Now, obviously the same thing would have to happen if I'm editing an item. So if I'm editing an item, where is my edit item? Oh, it's an update, so it's still the same thing. So insert update. So if it has a file, which is an optional thing, if file, go ahead and add it. The difference here is that we don't have to do the whole object again like we did in the create, because this is by definition an update. So the update does actually return the actual object back to us. Okay. So now we need to create the control. Which is an attachment control. I think I created one here before. Here it is, attachments. We can actually just copy this and put it under forms. Oh, I misspelled this. Attachments. There's no E there. All right, so attachments. Another thing that we have to actually, do we need to return that? Let's look at the API. I think the way I handled the attachments there was, let's see, here we go, attachments. So I brought in this attachment control. Let's go to our form. Right here. Where should we put the attachment at? Let's go look at our application. So I'm thinking the attachment should be before celebration image URL. All right. We have a file. What else do we need? Attachment view control. And then we have attachments. Attachments. Bring that in. Where's the attachments coming from? Attachments is coming from here. Why did I separate it like that? Oh, because I created a way to return. So I created a hook to get the attachments by the item ID. So let's do that. So we have to go to the API. And in the API, we have to return const. Let's see. We have use attachments by ID. You can just copy this. So this is going to be celebration attachments by ID URL. And this is going to be celebration list items or celebration list name. You don't need to set an error. All right. And now we need to create the hook for that. And I also have a delete attachment. You can actually just copy this as well. Celebration item ID, the file name. All right, so now we need the hooks for that. All right, so in our hooks folder, we need to create a new folder, and it's going to be called attachments. And inside of attachments, we're going to have a helpers folder. And then we're going to have a file called use attachments by celebration ID. And it's similar to this. We can just copy this. The only difference is we need the URL and the actual API call. This is in the wrong spot. API. There we go. And then we need the celebration item ID. And that should pretty much take care of it. And now for the helper functions, we need two helper functions, which is add attachments and delete attachments. I actually know the add is done by the API itself. We don't need another hook for that. But we definitely need the delete. So let's copy the delete one. So we use delete attachments by ID. This is use attachments by ID. And then this is use delete attachment by ID. And let's go to our API. Delete attachment by ID. And just update what we need. All right, so now that we have that, handle delete attachments is going to have to be our call that we need to create. Handle delete attachments. Set attachment that to true, and then we need to use delete by ID. Let's bring in that hook. Delete attachment, mutation, and options. And in our handle delete, we need to mutate the item. How do we handle that in this one though? Man, I've been already almost 4 hours. Wow. That I was not expecting, honestly. I think I'm gonna quit here. And my form. And my next time that I stream. No, I haven't been on 4 hours. I've only been on for... I mean, according to Kick, it's been 2 hours and 15 minutes. And the same thing for Twitch. Let me see if I can just at least finish this attachment part. So the handle delete attachment is coming from the parent. And earlier when it was the parent is the question answer. Handle delete attachments. So if current item and attachments. Okay, so this is gonna have to be at the parent level. And I need to get rid of this from here too. Get rid of this as well. And so I'm gonna basically pass the same thing that I have here. So the FAQ form receives handle, delete attachment, and attachments. So where's my form? It's right here. Celebration form. Yeah, we can import that. And then the parent of celebration form, where's the parent celebration? And then we have a reset and current FAQ item. Oh, current FAQ item would not be that. It would be item editing. Let's update these fields. Handle delete attachment. If item is editing. The only problem is that I'm not doing any tags here for celebration. Let me just double check, but I'm pretty sure I am not. This is discovery. I do have an e tag, but am I even using it? I am using it on update. It's not needed. I'm gonna get rid of it. It's gonna cause some errors. Let me open the hooks. about the API. Wait, where is there? No errors. Okay, good. All right, so in the attachments now, right here, we don't need the e-tag number. Okay, that fixes that. Oh wait. Oh no, I don't need this anymore. All right, so now in our attachment control, we only need attachments and handle delete attachments, which is going to be coming from here. So the celebration form is utilized in the celebration. Where is it at? Celebration form is using default layout. So here's where we're going to have to do our stuff. Item editing. What did I just do? Const attachments. Yeah, because this is expecting attachments. And then handle delete attachments. This is gonna have to be a call we need to make. For now, we'll just do that. In this place. Delete. I think my keyboard battery is dying. Const handle delete attachment. Before we do that, we need to import the hook. Const this is where our helper functions are at. Why is it giving me a new? Oh, there's no equal sign. Let's see if this is right. We delete attachment. The delete attachment expects the celebration item ID, the file name, and the attachment array, or the attachment info. The file name okay, so that's under the attachments parameter. And the attachment ID is not what I'm looking for. We need the celebration item ID. So that would be the edit item. Why is this complaining? I'm gonna stop there. My daughter's home, so I'm gonna go spend time with her. But thanks for joining me. Catch you on the next one. Peace.